Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, Stampin Up independent demonstrator. Sorry, something just went clonk. Today I am bringing the first of the projects I am doing with the March craft box. The March craft box is using the Picture Perfect suite, and it contains half a pack of the Picture Perfect design series paper. So all of this, although I've started using it, so not just this, more than this. So all of this, and it's beautiful, double-sided. There's what I would call a photorealistic image on one side, and then what I think of as solids on the back. And I mean solids as in they're not over fussy, they're just there, and you can use them as if they were a plain cardstock. Then you're also going to get a sheet of each of the 3 colours in the Myths and Magic Glimmer pack. So those come 6 by 6, so you'll get a sheet of each of those. You will get a half sheet of the Silver Glimmer, so that's a 6 by 12 sheet. So lots of lovely sparkle. Then you will also get, and again I've started using this, so apologies, 2 sheets of the Smooth Whisper White, 2 sheets of Pool Party, 2 of Berry Burst, 2 of the Peekaboo Peach, 2 Lemon Lime Twist, and 2 Bermuda Bay. Then you will also get 6 of the Whisper White note cards and envelopes. Sorry, not 6, 10 of the Whisper White note cards and envelopes. A yard, and I mean yard because I'm an old-fashioned person, of the mini sequin trim, the fine woven berry burst, sorry, the mini sequin trim in silver, the Bermuda Bay satin stitched ribbon, the Peekaboo Peach grosgrain stripe, and the Lemon Lime Twist ombre. So that all comes in it as well. Lots of goodies. You also get, I'm just picking them up off the floor where they've just fallen. Thank you for that. You also get 10 of each of the gold and silver metallic shapes. So it's 1 strip. So you get 5 of the circles, 2 hearts and 3 stars in each of those. And you get 8 of the binder clips. 2 in each of the colours. So it's pretty much the whole of the Picture Perfect suite. But the only thing that's missing is the ribbon that unfortunately we are not stocking. There was a manufacturing issue, so the paper ribbon isn't going to be available. But you can add on. I should say that the kit is £20 delivered to your door by first class Royal Mail. This is only for the UK, I'm afraid. And that you can add on the Picture Perfect birthday stamp set, the Simply Striped embossing folder, and the the Picture Perfect ink pads, which come in Bermuda Bay, Pool Party, Peekaboo Peach and Berry Burst. And those are the little 1-inch square spots, ink spots. If you add on any of the additional items, I will also include a sheet of the multi-purpose adhesive, which is 6 by 12 and is great for die cuts. Particularly for die cuts where you're using the glimmer paper, which can sometimes be a little tricky to use because you need to use a wet glue. It's not great with fast fuse. It doesn't take terribly well with fast fuse. Anyway, that's enough. That took, gosh, 4.5 minutes to go through. This is the card that we're making today. I'm actually making these specifically for 2 of my team members who have hit a milestone. So I'm sending them a nice little card and some goodies as a congratulations for that. So I have prepared quite a lot. So I've got a Bermuda Bay card base, which is just A4 cut in half, scored down the middle. Some of this I have prepared, but I will show you what I have done. But there are limits to people's attention span, I think, for some things, quite understandably. I have already cut, using the second from largest of the stitched shape framelets, a piece of Whisper White, which is for stamping on. I have already cut, die cut, from the paper ribbon pattern paper, a scalloped circle, which is using, let me see which, it's this die here, which is what I call, oh, that would have been useful if I could have read it, number 6. So it's the 6th largest, so I count from the smallest out. This is number 6. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, you can use punches, you don't need to use the dies, so that's an option. So let's get started. I'm going to stamp the sentiment for the front first, and I'll go through what else I've got when we come to it. So I've already mounted up the Celebrate the Good Stuff. So although the stamp set is called Picture Perfect Birthday, it's actually great for all occasions. So we've got, sentiment-wise, this, Celebrate the Good Stuff, and I'm using Memento Black here. It just fits, and it is a just fits, but it fits enough, so that's fine. I'm going to clean as I go because I will need quite a few of the blocks. So that's all I need the Memento for. You could use Basic Black. Basic Black does have a tendency to stain the stamps, which is why I tend to not use it, because on the, as I say, on the photopolymer it will stain. I love it, it's a really good black, but I don't need a really good black for this. So we've got Cue the Confetti, which we'll be using. Happy birthday. Happiest of birthdays to you. So happy birthday and the happiest of birthdays to you are the two, what I would think of as real birthday. Then we've got Celebrate the Good Stuff, Treat Yourself. Today we celebrate Wonderful, Brilliant, Fabulous You, which I think of as generic. Cue the Confetti is generic, Treat Yourself is generic, Celebrate the Good Stuff is generic. So don't just think of it as birthday. There are candles, but these don't have to be used as candles. They can be used just as stripes and backgrounds and stuff. And then we've got this lovely, these are 2-step. We've got, well, technically 3 because you've got the flame. Then we've got this lovely bow. We've got noisemakers. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so done the celebrate the good stuff. Then I need some scraps of Whisper White, and I am just going to use scraps because I can. So I will start with the green candles, and I'm using Lemon Lime Twist because it's in the paper. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp. I'll clean that off, but I'm going to use Pool Party for the blue candle, and I'm going to do that now whilst I've got the stamp mounted up. So just tapping on there, and I've slightly over inked this ink pad. I need to hang it the wrong way up for a while so that the ink sinks into the ink pad. So I don't need the Pool Party again just yet. Let's pop away our candle, our solid candle, and I want the dotty candle and the Lemon Lime Twist again. Oh, actually I did need the solid, never mind. I can bring it back. Right, so this is where you may want to do your dots first because they are going to be darker. And it is easier to line up when I haven't got a camera in the way. But it's all good. It's all good. We're going to cut it out anyway, so a little bit of going over the edge is not a problem. Right, Bermuda Bay for our stripes. And then pop that down to, and there we are. So those are our candle bases. And then we need the flame and Peekaboo Peach. And I'm going to stamp that off before I stamp it down because I don't want it too Peekaboo Peach. I want it just as a soft flame. So that's those. Now another little scrap, and I really am just using little scraps, and we'll go back to our candle, solid candle base, and this time we're going to make a noisemaker. So that's the tube for our noisemaker. We don't see much of it, but we see enough that we need it to be there. So that's that. Then I need Berry Burst and Pool Party, inevitably, because I've just covered the Pool Party up. And Pool Party. So Berry Burst first. And our little frill. And that goes onto the end of our tube. And then the noisemaker itself, we're going to stamp in Bermuda Bay. And this, you do need to line up your frills because you've got innie and outie, so you do need to try and line up what's going in and what's not. But again, you just hover over and there it is. So that's that. Then, finally, we need, is that going to be big enough? Yes, just about. Oh, actually I could put it at the end of that. Even better. We are going to build our bow. So again, Pool Party as the base for this. Now, this does have a right way up and a wrong way up when you line it up with the next layer. So, what you need to look at is this centerpiece here. This is the key to getting this lined up. So if you get your centerpiece in your head, then you bring in your darker layer, and if you've got your centerpiece lined up, there's then, how's best to show you this? There is that on the camera? More or less, yes. So you've got this line here, which is where your centerpiece goes. Then you've got this rounded bit. So I'm thinking of this as an arrow, and you want to line that up with this. So this is in the right formation. So you want your center bit, then you want this very pointy loop and the gap. So let's see if even on camera I can get this right. So ink up, centre bit going up and down, pointy bit, and then if you get those bits lined up, everything else falls into place. So there we go. Really, once you get your head round the lineup, it's really not difficult. So that's those. I'm going to pop those to one side for the moment while I do the inside of the card. Because I have done some stamping on the inside of the card, because if we have a look here, I've got cue the confetti and then some confetti. Why wouldn't I? Whoops. So Bermuda Bay again, and cue the confetti. There we go. So, oops, the wrong way up. I do like my, if I'm using a block that is slightly too large, I like to put it at the top because for me that's where I have the most control. So, ink it up and cue the confetti. And then that away and grab the confetti and the lemon lime twist, and then all we're going to do is go round the image, and I like to twist it so that it's not all going in the same direction, and you can actually fill in quite nicely the whole of your surround. So it does work reasonably well at filling in the gap. So if you would like my March craft box, always useful to let you know how you do that, I will link in the description bar below to all the details, but basically all you need to do is send me an email before, well, as quickly as possible, so that I know you want the box. If you want any of the options, let me know that too, so I can get it all ordered for you. And remember, that way you save on postage, because I pay the postage to get it delivered to me, and I just pop it in the same box as your craft kit. So yeah, it's a great way to save even more. Right, so I've scored that and just burnish it. So send me an email, I will then send you an invoice with the information about how to pay, and so long as I receive the payment by the 3rd of March, we're good to go. If you're sending a cheque, I do need that by the 1st of March so that I can do the banking. But yeah, otherwise 3rd of March is the deadline. Right, so we've got our card base. Then I have done the fussy cutting because, you know, fussy cutting all of this takes a bit of time, which is fine, but I can think of things I would rather do than sit and watch someone fussy cutting. They are not difficult to fussy cut, so yeah, I've saved you the boredom of that. I have also pre-embossed with the simple striped embossing folder a piece of Pool Party. This is cut at 5.5 by 3 3/4, measurements over on my blog, the link to which is below. Fast fuse, whilst it's still around, I'm still using it, but do remember, when it's gone, it is gone. We are not going to be getting it back in stock, so you may find that some regions run out before others, but if you want fast fuse whilst it's available, you know what to do, and particularly during celebration, why wouldn't you stock up and get some free celebration items too? Yeehaw! Do be careful when you fast fuse on the back of this embossing folder in particular, because it does tend, because of the dips, it does tend to pull up the card, so just be very gentle. So that's that stuck down. Then I'm going to stick down again with fast fuse, and I'm going to use a reasonable amount because we're using raised cardstock. Oh, and I need to pop this down. So this is a piece of the Berry Burst, which I've cut a little bit too long, Berry Burst finely woven. So let's just trim that, and I'm going to stick that down with fast fuse. You could use snail instead of fast fuse for any of this, so, or Terran tape. So I pop that down, then I'm going to pop our frilly bit down, want it a bit further over. Make sure you can see, that's always good, am I not? No, that's fine. Okay, right, so the next thing to go down is, I have got a teeny weeny, if I can find it. Where's it gone? It's so teeny weeny. I had, oh there it is, can't see it for looking, this tiny little strip of the glimmer paper. It's just a tiny little strip. I cut a 6-inch strip and I cut it in half, and now I'm going to cut those as well. Glue dots are best for glimmer paper, particularly if you're just tucking things in, which I am. So I'm just, that was clever, wasn't it? I've cut it the wrong way, but it doesn't matter, we can cut it the other way. I like my diagonals to be in the same direction. So I'm going to pop that, actually I'm going to pop that a bit further across. Pop that there. And then this I obviously need to trim the other way too. So this I'm then going to pop at the other end, and I want it to look as if it's one piece. So I'm going to try and line it up. Oh, I don't want it quite, that's better. Right. So that's that. Back of this, we're going to put some dimensionals. And these are the standard dimensionals. You could use the minis. I will be using both on this, but purely because I have both. But remember, you can cut down the large ones and you can use a couple more of the minis. So if you've only got one or the other, that's not a problem. Right, celebrate the good stuff. Just make sure I am covering up the ends of my glimmer paper. Then I think the next thing I want to stick down is my noisemaker, which I'm going to tuck in there. I shall probably tuck it in there. And again, I'm going to pop a glue dot on the end. And then here I'm going to pop a dimensional. And it is just large enough to take a full-size dimensional. So that's going to tuck in there. And then my sequin trim I'm going to pop in underneath here, and I'm going to do that with glue dots again. If I can find my piercing tool, there we are. I'm going to just fold them over, oop, oop, stick a half, as it were, glue dot onto each end. Ooh. There we go. And then cross those over. So I'm going to pop one in under here. If it wants to play, that would be nice. So one under there. And then cross this over. And then pop, oh, more thumbs. Pop this in under here. And then that's that. And then again, I'm going to take a half glue dot. Oh, no, actually might be a whole glue dot, a glue dot. And this I'm then going to just attach, yeah, half. Attach there, and then pop the sequin trim over the top. I don't worry that this is loose. It's actually one of the attractions of it is that it's loose. So that's that. I'm now going to stick on the candles. Don't you love it that my brain is going completely to sleep? I seem to be thinking about 1,000,001 other things. Right. No, I want mini glue dots, not mini glue dots, mini dimensionals. Oh, can't see them for looking. Right. So, mini dimensional on the back of the flame. Just take the backing off that and then pop this. I had fast fuse on the candle itself. And then just pop this there, I think. Just don't try not to cover up too much of the beginning of the C. And then again, fast fuse at the bottom and a dimensional, mini dimensional at the top. And then that can come out at a jaunty angle here. There we are. Then before I stick anything else on, I'm going to come back to my trick with the spaghetti. I like to say my trick. It's actually not my trick. It's one I picked up from one of the other demonstrators in our team. Bit of Tombow. I've got, assuming I can find them all, yes, 5 sequins, which I've just pulled off the end of the sequin trim. And I'm just going to add a little dot of, actually I'll put that one there, but I'm going to put it here this time. A little dot of Tombow, and then you want to dampen the end of your spaghetti, and then it works brilliantly as a little pickup, preferably without getting it covered in glue. Isn't that just brilliant? So no more struggling to pick up your embellishments, and it works for all these little embellishments, but particularly good for sequins. So that's the sequins done. Right, so while that's finishing off, we can just pop on our bow. So one-dimensional bit of fast fuse, and then pop that down in the corner, and then all we need to do is pop our inner in. So again, fast fuse on the back of our liner. And I did have a question on the comments of one of my earlier YouTubes. This is what I mean by a liner. Someone who's new, I think, to crafting asked what I meant by a liner. That's what I meant by a liner. So there we go. I hope you enjoy that. I think this is a lovely, bright, sunny set. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think it works for every occasion. So don't just think birthdays, think all sorts of enjoyable, fun occasions. If you would like the craft kit, do pop over to my blog, drop me an email. There's all that useful information there. If you need any of the products and you want to buy them direct, that's super. There's a link to my online store in the description bar below. There's a link to my blog. Then there's a little bit of words about social media and a link there which has got links to Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, various things, and my online store. So you can just pop over there. If you do shop from me, I would be delighted. I would love to welcome you to my VIP group. And then you get, if you use the Hostess Code, you get to share the Hostess goodies. If you don't use the Hostess Code, that's fine. But everyone gets a thank you card and a little gift from me every month. So if they place an order, so that's just a little added bonus, and there's other sort of extra bits and pieces. Between now and the end of Celebration, if you are in the UK and you're not already on my mailing list, I'm going to be doing a draw if you sign up to my mailing list, which is on my blog. Right at the bottom of my every blog post, there's a sign up to my mailing list. So if you sign up and you're in the UK, I'll pop you in the random draw, and you will get a mini craft kit. So that would be fun. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Sorry that was quite a long video. I will see you again soon. Bye!